the Too Many Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast. Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Thursday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, and we have another one for you today. And I know most of you may be have seen the title that I put out there, but I changed it because I had all intentions on talking about the madness in Memphis. Had all intentions. I had saw a post in reference to some supposedly what looked like some Memphis police officers riding four-wheelers, I guess patrolling on four-wheelers, but the picture was really kind of, it wasn't a clear picture, so I don't know if it was actually MPD officers or somebody put together. But what was real was the comments, and the comments were just a bunch of young folk and kind of some middle-aged folk talking about how they better not get off of them. They gonna steal their four-wheelers, and I just a lot of madness, right? And also, for those of you who have not seen, there is a real video now circulating of the National Guard troops coming up 40 to 240, and it was very real because they showed the signage for the streets, and all that stuff. And they had those 50 cals strapped to the top of them Hummers. So that was real. And when I went to the comments, it was just as crazy. It was, people, them young folk talking about they gonna try to jack the Hummers, and they gonna get them some new, just crazy stuff, y'all. So I was gonna talk about. I had all intentions on talking about the Memphis Madness, not March Madness, but Memphis Madness. But then, I woke up to some foolery this morning, and it was, I don't know if he's a senator, a governor, or what he is for Missouri. Schmidt, I think that's his name. I woke up to this nutcase saying that America is theirs and their ancestors fought and bled for America so it could be theirs. And he even went all the way back to talking about Plymouth Rock, and I was like, this dude is crazy. So I kind of changed and kind of changed up the topic this morning to, they are who we thought they are. They are who we thought they are. I don't know. That might not sound grammatically correct. It don't matter to me. They are who we thought they are, or who we thought they were. We can, if you want to be grammatically correct or whatever, they are who we thought they were. The only thing that I can really truly appreciate in this video is the fact that he ain't trying to hide it. That's the only thing that I can truly appreciate, is that he's not trying to hide it. He not trying to hide it at all. How he feel about anybody other than them. He not trying to hide it. And so I went from Memphis Madness. We got some madness going on here in Memphis. To they are who we thought they were. They are. And this, look, this really don't surprise me. It don't. I'm gonna play the video in a second. This really does not surprise me at all. That, I mean, in Missouri, now we in Tennessee, Missouri, the borders for Missouri to Tennessee is only about 2 hours when you hit the Missouri border. So we're gonna say less than 2 hours away from us. We got somebody who's running Missouri that's thinking like this. So let me play the video, man. Let me just play the video, because some of y'all may have already seen it. Some of you may not have seen it, but let me just play it anyway.
Continental Army soldiers dying of frostbite at Valley Forge. The Pilgrims struggling to survive in the hard winter soil of Plymouth. The pioneers striking out from Missouri for the wild and dangerous frontier. The outnumbered Kentucky settlers repelling wave after wave of Indian war band attacks from beyond the stockade walls. All of them will be astonished to hear that they were only fighting for a proposition. They believed they were fighting for a nation, a homeland for themselves and their descendants. They fought, they bled, they struggled, they died for us. They built this country for us. America, in all its glory, is their gift to us, handed down across the generations. It belongs to us. It's our birthright. It's our heritage, our destiny. If America is everything and everyone, then it is nothing and no one at all. When they tear down our statues and monuments, mock our history, and insult our traditions, they're attacking our future as well as our past. By changing the stories we tell about ourselves, they believe they can build a new America with the new myths, a new people. But America doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us. It's our home. It's a heritage entrusted to us by our ancestors. It's a way of life that is ours and only ours. If we disappear, then America too will cease to exist.
The man said, if they cease to exist, then America would cease to exist as well. He said, if America is for any and everybody, then it ain't America. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Bro Law. Good morning, Zoe. Good morning, Joseph Jones. Bruh, the egregiousness of his speech. But again, let me just say, I can appreciate, good morning, Miss Loretta. I can appreciate him being open and honest about how he truly feels. Versus, see, I'd rather see my enemy coming and know who my enemies are so I can keep them close and watch them than not know and get stabbed in the back. Ms. Powell, what you said, the delusion that exists in their heads. They said without them, there will be no America. Good morning, Ms. Paulette. That's the most delusional thing I've heard ever.
It's the truth though. What he said, you talking about their America. He ain't talking about America. The America they built.
But that's the whole MAGA movement. Make America great again is by getting everybody that's not like them out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole MAGA movement. But a lot of them dance around how they feel. Clearly, he telling you in this speech. So that's why I'm saying I can appreciate. At least he ain't hiding it. He just coming on out and saying, "Hey, this is what it is. This is it," and not hiding it. But it's just, bro, you gotta listen to the beginning of this.
Continental Army soldiers dying of frostbite at Valley Forge. The Pilgrims struggling to survive in the hard winter soil of Plymouth. The pioneers striking out from Missouri for the wild and dangerous frontier. The outnumbered Kentucky settlers repelling wave after wave of Indian war band attacks from beyond the stockade walls.
The first, I don't know how far he was in his speech with that, but all of that right there was heresy. This man, first of all, I'm almost positive, 100,000% positive that there were a whole bunch of indigenous people here before they came here.
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt.
That they took the land from.
Mm-hmm.
So they saying that anybody that's not like them ain't supposed to be here. Talking about we take their statues down and erase their history. What have they been doing for the last 20 years for us? With our history. They don't even teach Black history in school no more.
Mm-mm.
Because they trying to eradicate it. They don't want you to know about it. Exactly, Miss Gwen. Now they just becoming bold enough. But again, at least you know, he's telling us who he is. And I'd rather know who my enemies are, so know who I'm facing, than sometimes facing the enemy unknown. Yeah, playing the victim, like they've been victimized. We're erasing and tearing down their statues. They talking about these Confederate statues, and we're erasing their history. Ain't that what they've been doing for the last 20 plus years for us, erasing our history?
But that's why they're talking like they're talking, because they're afraid, because what they thought was gonna work on us ain't working. Yes, we are murdering our, unaliving each other, but we ain't going nowhere. And
Yeah, I'm just, I just threw it.
the statistics are that they're little bit by little bit, as time progressed within the last 7 years, they will become the minority. The jig is almost up.
Bro, I had all the tensions. That's why the Facebook post says Memphis Madness and the YouTube says they are who we thought they are.
Mm-hmm.
I had every intention on talking about Memphis Madness more. I told we was gonna keep with that thing with Memphis, because I had seen a post about some MPD officers on some four-wheelers patrolling, and supposedly some MPD officers. And I just went to the comments and listened to all these fools talking about they were gonna steal it. They better not stop, get off on them, we're gonna steal them. And I'm like, y'all crazy. Then I see the video somebody posted of the actual troops coming up 40 to 240, and I go to the comments and it's foolishness in there. And we're gonna jack it, we're gonna get them big guns out the back of the truck. Okay. I sent you the video of the man. Look at them 50 cals strapped to them Hummers.
Mm-hmm.
I had all intentions on talking about Memphis Madness. Not March Madness, Memphis Madness. But then I wake up and see this video. I'm like, these folk are cray.
That's what I'm telling you. I was telling Doc last night, bro. He was like, man, what you think about what's happening and what they doing? I said, I don't like it. I said, because we all on the same soil. Yes, they going to LA. Yes, they going to Washington. Yes, they're going to Chicago. But they're mainly going to Black places. And this is not a Memphis problem.
Well, they're Black
America
mayors,
problem.
Black,
Yeah,
Black
come on,
people
bro.
in power.
Yeah, come on. Let's.
And we already know, just from the video yesterday, like it really ain't no Memphis problem. If you think about it, it ain't really no Memphis problem because well, we say it's a Memphis, we think it's a Memphis problem. They want us to think it's a Memphis problem, but it's really all about their money, bro. If they can
Period.
run up how to get us out the way, so they want to control everything, bro. And that's what it's all
Mhm.
about, control.
Yeah, power.
We can run them black folk out of power, put some white folk in power. We can try to control something.
So I thought I was gonna be able to have a slideshow from my trusted ChatGPT, but for whatever reason it took so long. 'Cause I just literally I laid down at 3, got back up and took Lavelle to school. I'm working on about 2 hours worth of sleep. But I just put in ChatGPT this morning the truth about Memphis crime. And one of the slides was going to share with us, if I can find it, that was pretty much saying the same thing that I was saying yesterday, is that a lot of this stuff is delayed news or delayed data, meaning that the data sometimes is not correct. And the main objective of what happens is that the media is mainly responsible for the data that we receive half the time based upon the statistics. The data is not true data. And this is not,
It's their statistics and not true statistics
there you go.
in most cases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Powell. So yet they feel it's okay to reveal their thoughts, but others who have views different from them are targeted as villains to be destroyed. Absolutely.
Like they did Jimmy Kimmel last night. They don't fire this dude. This man been talking about Trump before Trump was even in office or even thought about running for president. He been talking about Trump. And what they terminated him over, I took his show off about, was something that he said he did. They asked him about the Kirk incident. The man said, "Oh, I'm okay," and kept on talking about, "Oh, we almost through with the banquet room." That's all the man was talking about. And then they shelved him.
Wow. It just goes to show
Jimmy
you, bro,
Kimmel?
if you ain't on their agenda, what they talking about, and
Is it?
man, I don't even want to talk about that, bro. But this is so. This dude is this senator for Missouri, Eric Schmidt, is in Missouri is 2 hours away from this Tennessee state line. 2 hours.
Yeah.
And again, when you think about Tennessee, like Tennessee is really a red state anyway. But when you think about Tennessee, Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
when you think about just them little 4 states right there together, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. And them folk, all them folk, I guarantee you, all them folk thinking the same way. He was just bold enough to put it in a speech.
Mm-hmm.
Without saying, he said everything without saying it.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And so I don't even understand like why. So I guess I need to go back and listen to the whole speech because I don't even know why he was making this speech or where he was making this speech at. But
That's true.
what made him feel like that in that moment, and this could have been this could have been somebody found that were old. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But it clearly outlines and tells how he feels. And the people that were in the audience that was clapping, his constituents and all them feel the same way. Clearly.
Yeah.
I want to digress for just a second. Lavelle sent me a video yesterday. I don't know if you sent it to me or you tagged me in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday, we were talking about the National Guard in Memphis and kind of what does it mean, and I was telling you guys that I had seen, kind of mixed emotions across the social media platform. Some people were all for it. Some people were, we don't need it. It's not warranted. Even on here on our discussing yesterday, some of you guys were like, "Nah, that's overkill, and we don't need it, whatever." But I found DeVille sent this video, and I want to play this video. I can't play the whole video because the whole video is like 20 something. I don't know.
It's long.
But I want to play some of it because they got some testimonials. Because this video was just created like maybe a few days ago.
Yep.
Yeah, and it had some testimonials from people living in areas where the National Guard is or has been.
Mm-hmm.
So let me play that. And I just want you guys to hear it, and you make that way you can make that speech is just a temperature check of the climate in our country today. It checking some temperatures too. But you guys be the judge from listening to this and listen to some of these testimonials. How you feel about the God maybe after this coming to Memphis.
From the New York Times, I'm Michael Bavaro. This is The Daily. One month after sending the National Guard into Washington to fight crime there, President Trump is so pleased with the results that he's now discussing how to put federal troops onto the streets of cities across the country, from Chicago to New Orleans. It's a potentially dramatic expansion of what has already become an unprecedented military deployment on domestic soil. Today, my colleague Jessica Chung speaks with residents of Washington about what it's really like when the National Guard comes to town. It's Monday, September 8th.
Can't sleep because of your credit card debt? If you're drowning in $10,000 or more in debt, National Debt Relief could be a game changer. Here are 3 easy solutions you can start implementing today. And number 3 is an absolute game changer.
Number 1, the first step to tackling your credit card debt.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
A day after President Donald Trump announced he was deploying National Guard troops into Washington, D.C., the first Humvees started rolling in. They lined up between the African American History Museum and the Holocaust Museum along the National Mall. About 800 troops eventually came, and they weren't alone. President Trump also called on the DEA, Homeland Security, and the FBI.
My message to residents is this. We know that access to our democracy is tenuous.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser complied with all of this, saying there wasn't much she could do, which makes sense. The city is a federal district where the president controls the National Guard.
And while this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised.
Violent crime in Washington is actually falling dramatically.
Some people found all of this strange. Crime in D.C. has actually dropped to a 30-year low.
Let's look at some of this data. In 2023, D.C. had its most murders in more than 2 decades, 274, but it then plunged to 187 murders last year, and it's been falling again so far this year.
So there is no crime emergency So it's hard to say exactly what the purpose is.
Do you think it's really about crime?
This is not about crime. This is about control.
So people were resistant.
This is not about public safety. This is about power.
A Washington Post poll found that 8 out of 10 residents were against the federal takeover of law enforcement.
Who city? Who city? Who city? Who city?
To Americans who don't live in D.C., you think of the landmarks, the White House, the Monument, the Capitol. But to locals, they think of their city in terms of 4 quadrants: Northeast, Northwest, Southwest, and lastly, Southeast, where crime is the highest. So we wanted to talk to people living there to know what they thought about this, how life has changed since the feds came to town. And they told me the streets are quieter, which is quite a change compared to what's normally like, especially in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Southeast, Congress Heights.
When you walk into Congress Park, the tension is high. Every day, all day, you can feel the tension.
Shootings all the time. I hear gunshots all day long.
There are young guys killing each other.
Child got killed. She got shot riding a scooter. It's trouble.
We talked to 2 residents who work in neighborhood safety.
I'll drive to the doctor's office, and it's a shame that when you get in your car, you can't sit there like you used to because somebody will carjack you. So you just get in your car, lock the doors, and pull off.
It's a loving community. It's just trauma filled. So in split second, it can go from loving to violent, you know what I mean, in a heartbeat.
And just taking our lives away from us. It's almost like we're in prison.
Sandra Seegers was one of the people we talked to. She grew up in D.C. and lives in Congress Heights.
Grew up in zip code 20024, which is Ward 6, Southwest.
Sandra is 74 years old. She lives in a small brick house with manicured rose bushes and hydrangeas.
Okay, my block, we keep the grass cut.
She's a community activist. 7 years ago, she founded a local group called CRAVE, Concerned Residents Against Violence. They lobby the city to spend more money on safety in her ward. When she hears that crime is at a low point in the city, even in her neighborhood, it doesn't feel that way to her.
How do you react to people who say, actually, crime is down and that people did try to stop the crime and it was successful?
I would say they're fools because they don't live where I live. Almost every other night, I can look down the street and see.
She says the crime problem in Congress Heights goes back decades. Her own brother was shot and killed in the 70s. But she says back then, crime was targeted toward people who were involved in it. And for the most part, bystanders were left alone.
And as time went on, things changed. There was more crime. The stores shut down.
But now, especially since the pandemic, she says it feels like the violence is more random.
The criminals getting younger and younger.
And for Sandra, that means more innocent people and even businesses are caught up in it.
First, there was chicken place.
She points to a nearby storefront that can't seem to stay open.
Subway. At one point, it was maybe a Mexican cuisine. One of the businesses moved so quickly, the wires were still hanging out the walls. It's like they didn't take time to push the wires in the wall. They just got out.
She says troops.
Yeah. There are men in this city that have 3-4 children, right? They're the breadwinner of the home. And yeah, they're out here trying to find employment, but until they do, they have to figure out a way to feed their children. So now, because of the presence of these officers, these guys unable to sell the drugs to feed their children, now they're picking up the gun to find somebody to rob. You see, so you just went from a basic drug dealer that was standing on the corner selling drugs to someone that if the person makes the wrong moves, now you just created a murderer. So did you fix the problem?
He also says that the feds aren't focused on the more serious crimes they say they're here to solve. He points to something that happened on Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue on the first day of school.
4 days ago, after the National Guard was deployed in D.C., there was a shooting. A 15-year-old little boy got shot in his stomach. While we were there responding to that shooting, we knew that they were on their way. We just knew because this is a shooting of a child. This is why they say they're here. You know, this is the job that they're here to do, right? Later, we got another notification that 2 more young men were shot right around the corner from this shooting within an hour. These people are coming outside to see what's going on. Mothers and fathers that's sitting out there hoping and praying that this is not one of their children laying on the ground. Like, one of these agencies could have just been curious, right, as to what's going on, right? Not one agency outside of NPD came to be curious. And the whole community was out to see it. Here it is, right? Your opportunity to show the community why you're here, and you don't come.
I mean, could it be possible that because MPD showed?
I'm gonna stop it there, because that was just gut wrenching in itself. Just hearing that part, and he went on to say that if you were truly there to help with the violent crimes and the public safety, one of those agents, the National Guard, the FBI, somebody would have came over there and said, "Hey, what is going on? Let's patrol these streets because we just got 2-3 kids shot within an hour of each other, within the blocks of each other." And nobody came. But he said they were too busy harassing people, regular, everyday, normal people in their cars that were just driving, going to work, or people that were at work that were going into those businesses harassing people, really basically immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the agenda? What is the actual agenda that they're trying to do? What are they really pushing? If they're not showing up at in the cities for the violent crimes and to deal with the violent crimes, what are they truly here for? And that was the question that a lot of those people, residents, were asking. They went on to talk to more people about actual people who were getting harassed and people who were at their job and scared that the owner go and lock the door when they set up a checkpoint outside of their business. So it's a lot of that. There was a lot of that going on and still going on in DC. And those folk are like, one person said, it's like they in jail. Prisons in their own city. Prisoners in their own city. So I don't know. You know, I still say it's overkill for the National Guard to be in Memphis. And that's how I feel about it. You know, and this right here, this Eric Schmidt, Senator Eric Schmidt, he just basically adds to, you know, really, man, like he really just he highlights to me what really, you know, how they truly really feel. They ain't really here, bro. When it first came on, y'all heard people shouting about it ain't about public safety, it's about power. It's a power thing, bro. And Mr. Smith, I don't know, again, I really need to research to see when he did this video, but his whole tone, well, at least the part of the speech that we heard, the whole tone of that speech was it sounded like fear to me. If you really dig deep, it sounded like fear of them losing what they call America.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been the whole issue the whole time. It's like they brought black people here from Africa to till the lands, to plow the lands, to build, to do the working, and then along the way we got smart.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Smart, and we started doing stuff. We started building. We started creating. We became doctors. We became lawyers. We became educators. We became builders. We became engineers. And they was like, oh, these was getting too smart.
Yep.
And I think it created a certain fear factor in them.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole tone of that speech to me just resonated fear of losing something that wasn't really never there to start with.
And one thing I can say about us as a people, our parents, at least I can speak for myself, and you know, my granddaddy, he really didn't care for white people, but he didn't tell his children to hate them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When my dad, you know what I'm saying, became
Maybe
an
he
age,
experienced something from some of them.
right? You know what I'm saying? And,
You go back then,
right.
they experienced something.
My dad didn't put that in me, you know what I'm saying, in his children. I didn't put it in my children. But one thing about the other persuasion, if you will, they embed this stuff in their children. And a lot of times what happens when they get of age and they rebel against that, oh, it's a problem. Like what's the rich white guy? What's the rich it's a documentary called The 1%. The rich white guy Warren Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
His granddaughter rebelled against him, and he cut her out their inheritance.
Yeah, but that's how they use money and stuff to control a lot of them back in the day. Some of them just they was just like it was in them, and they the hatred was in them. I know a lot of because I don't have an issue with the white people, like white people, Mexicans, Latinos, Asian. I don't have a problem with none of them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I only have a problem with who have a problem with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there are a lot of them that have. I was listening to Chris Williams. I guess it was like a little Bible study. He had a little Bible study last night, and he was talking about breaking family strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that you got to come out of that mess that has plagued your family. Y'all kept passing down from generation to generation. Y'all just doing it because grandmama them did, granddad and uncle them did. You got to break them strongholds. Say you're gonna be different. You're gonna be better than that. A lot of what we see with our white co-parts is it's a lot of those family strongholds, and some of them want to break away from it, but they don't want to be, or they don't want to go against the grain of their grandparents, and some of them be happy. They be sad when the grandparents die out, but at the same time, they knew that was part of the part that kept them where they couldn't be who they truly was. Like I like black people. I want to date me a black person, but they know granddad and grandmama wouldn't have stood for it. So, Pop said we've seen throughout our history, every time there is success in our communities, there's always white backlash. And that I think again, when I look at his video, I hear the tone of fear throughout it, like the fear of maybe losing something that was never really theirs. But at the same time, the boldness of him to speak such a message, especially if this message was a very recent speech. Like I said, I don't know if this was a very, very recent speech in our climate and what's going on today, bro. He bold as heck.
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt about it.
He bold, and that's why I said I kind of appreciate at least him showing me who he is. Because a lot of them, they just do underhanded stuff, but they never really say, that they have a problem with black people or Latino people or Asians, And so I ain't gonna loop all white people in the group with him. I ain't gonna loop.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, most definitely not that. Yeah.
When there's an Asian person that says I can't stand black people, or a Latino person I can't stand black people, I'm not gonna loop every Latino or every Asian person in the same group with that person.
Absolutely, you
till
can't.
they show me otherwise.
Right. I agree with that.
See, and this is why I tell people all the time to be cautious when you hear people when you want to travel abroad. They, I don't know, you want to go over there. They don't even like black people. Then you go over there and you see the total absolute difference. They show you nothing but love, everybody friendly. Quit listening to folks because they've experienced something here from somebody that they probably was nasty with. They don't even like us. No, they don't like you.
Right.
You know, I've been to places where they say, "Oh, I've experienced this, so I don't," you know, and I got the total opposite. You know, do I think racism exists in other countries? Absolutely, but I also think right now, with everything that's going on in the U.S., I think other countries are sitting back now saying, "Look at them fools over there. Look at what's going on over there." I think we're like the laughing stock of the world right now.
Yeah, because Orange dude was just believing his own hype. I watched him yesterday. He came with a report and went live talking about how America is such in a better place now, and we getting all our monies back, and we're so powerful now. And I'm looking like this dude, like, where you living at? Where are you? This must be just where y'all live, because dude, I'm like, you really done bought into your own hype because you the president, bro. This is not what it is. He bragging about the tariffs and what it has done, and we got trillions of dollars and trillions of dollars, and I'm
Well,
like,
he's a liar anyway. if his lips is moving, he's probably
and I'm
lying.
looking at his constituents behind him, and I'm looking like, y'all some cronies out.
And sometimes I wonder, how they really, like truly feel about him. Like, do behind closed door, do they like get together and say, "Man, this dude is a complete idiot, and I just can't believe we just still following this dude."
It's their job.
Or,
They can't, if they
or
bump
is it
into
just, hey man, he cleaning up all the mess for us? So is he a puppet on a string?
Yeah, man, don't read my mind. Don't read my mind like that, dog. It's always something behind it, but
And see, that's why I was like, so are they using him to just clear the way for their agenda? So what y'all think about that? Do you think like he really is a puppet on a string? He really ain't got the power he think he got. He doing stuff, but he's really just kind of working towards their absolute agenda of the Republican Party, and they just using him to get it done.
Isn't it the party ain't the people that's the puppet masters? They don't have no party. It's the same bird, and the whole thing about it is, it's just a matter of when he go totally against the grain, we'll find out what it is. Or that's just who they want. One of the two. Yeah, but the puppet masters, they're not Republican and or Democrat. They ain't on no. They not stream left, stream right. They the whole bird.
They ain't straddling no fences. They ain't lukewarm. They hot or they cold.
That's it. Period.
Brother said he wouldn't be in that position if he wasn't pushing their agenda. How can intelligent people listen to a person who never had to buy groceries, fix a meal, take his kids to school? Dang.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's crazy though. It's crazy to think that this dude, like, when he first got in office, I think because most of us really didn't think he had a chance, period, right? And then all of a sudden, getting closer to the end, we was like, these folks is really supporting this dude. Like these.
I'm gonna dive a little deeper in the rabbit hole, Doc. I believe it's just me. I believe dude got something on America, bro. And he knows something. He gonna be a whistleblower. And they said, okay, if we don't let this dude go ahead and have his wishes and let him be the
Nah, they'll take him out. They'll take him out for then. They'll take him out for then.
So they said, okay, go ahead, let him go and do what he gonna do.
I just think that they saying, yeah, he reckless, out of control. But if you think about what he's doing, that's working in our favor. Let him keep doing it. That's what I believe is going on.
It may be a couple of minutes. It may be a couple of minutes of both.
Because if he had something truly on him and he's saying that, man, they'll take him out the box so quick, man. What you just said, cuz they would JFK his butt.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all, have a great day. Okay, Sarita, have a good one. Phyllis said, I think he's a puppet and an absolute embarrassment. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, other countries that sit back saying, whew.
Then the man saying, man, I build great relationships with this person in Korea. Just like, he ain't build nothing, man. Come on, quit playing all the time.
I tell you, if his lips moving, he lying. He's a habitual liar. He always talking about how, just like he lied on Mayor Young. The mayor, he's Democrat. He's with it, and Bill Lee, he's Republican, and they're working together, and they're all for. See, Sarita, you on the same thing I'm on, right? They took Kirk out, and then they try to make it look like everything else. And, let's fly half mad like we rolling with them, and they took Kirk out. That was a warning.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that one.
That's Suge Knight and Tupac.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you, man. Let's clock that tea with our girl Queen Watkins, man.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that tea with your girl Queen Watkins. I hope y'all are having an amazing week. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to clock that tea. Can you imagine waking up to your children that you done pushed out of you that is pointing a pum-pum at you and your husband? Yeah, let's talk about it. So there is a 22-year-old and a 17-year-old, two boys, brothers. They tried to unalive their parents, y'all. And allegedly, they was planning this since they were 11 years old. Well, one of them was 11 years old. Allegedly, it was because of life insurance money. Let's talk about it. So the parents was at dinner with the boys, and the boys decided they wanted to spike their drink with Xanax. First off, why did this even come across your mind to unalive your parents? Like, what really was the motive for this, right? Was it the life insurance money? What's going on? So anyway, they put Xanax in their drink for them to stay asleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up waking up, seeing the boys pointing guns at them. And the stepfather was somehow able to get to the garage. But in the garage, they pum-pummed him 10 times. So he was found with 10 gunshot wounds.
Wow.
And the mother, she was able to get away because the dad was distracting her. The dad was distracting the boys. When she got away, she ended up calling 911. So sad on the call, y'all. The way that she sounds so sad. It was almost like she was gasping for her breath, for real. And she was just letting them know, like, hey, my sons are trying to unalive us. They've strangled her and all type of mess, y'all, okay? So she heard them on the phone. The phone call wasn't long to 911 dispatcher. She heard the boys come and looking for her. It's saying, where's mom? She told the dispatcher. Shortly after she said that, she got to screaming. The boys allegedly started beating the mom. So once they did all of this, the police arrived. And when they arrived, they smelled gasoline. So the boys was trying to burn down the home with the parents in it, y'all. It was that serious. So The guy that was in the garage, thank God, the dad, he was able to walk out of the garage when the police got there. 10 bullet wounds, right? And the mom, thank God, survived as well through this attack. So what they did was they arrested the boys, of course. And why they gonna start crying? Baby, suck them tears up. Cause you knew what you was doing. Y'all had so much time. You didn't mess with your mom and turned around and beat her again. Get up out of here with them tears, baby. Suck it up. Suck it up. So you know how when they do the interviews, they're recording people while they're doing the interviews. So they're in the room. They put the brothers together to, I guess, try to get the clear story of exactly what's going on. And they call themselves sociopaths, right? And they didn't understand why they did this to their parents and whoop-de-bam. So the parents had an interview, and the mom was just like, they had a normal family, right? The boys would get in trouble a little bit, they'll get told no. But overall, they had a normal family. She didn't understand why her sons would do something like that, right? But they forgave their sons. They also actually begged the judge for grace for their sons, because the dad said when he looked his son in the eye when he was pointing a shotgun at him, he said he seen nothing but the devil, and he knew it wasn't him, and they knew it was a mistake. So they wanted leniency for the kids. So they at least was saying just at least give them 10 years or something. Don't give them the max. They made a mistake again. Boy, the love of a parent, a real parent at that. So the judge said, I feel you, but come on, man. Now these boys tried to unalive y'all. 20 years for them both. As they should. Make them sit there and think about what they got going on, baby. I thank God the parents are Christians, because they're saying that, they would pray for them and things of that nature. And, it was a mistake. People change, with the bam. Thank God for that, right? The parents didn't give up on them. But judge said, 20 years for both, and it serves them well. All right, y'all, that's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Minute Hats Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to stay tuned for your girl, Queen Watkins. Clock that tea. Y'all, November will be here in no time. Please, please, please continue to send in your donation. Thank you to the ones that already have. But if you have not, you still have a little bit of time. Just this much. So go and see y'all donations, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Man. Can we play a game?
What?
Guess what race it is? Da, da, da.
How did you? So you seen the video?
No.
Do we know what race it is?
It just sounds crazy to me, but I would say white or anything other than black.
I want to see up.
Man, did that sound like for the insurance money? You gonna kill your parents for some insurance money? Come on, man. That's crazy. We gonna find out.
You see them calling it. Dang.
Man, they ain't gonna get none of that money. Boy, they ain't get none of that money.
But that's what I was thinking. Well, you so
I just don't know how. I don't know how. I ain't gonna say I couldn't forgive them, cause you brought them in the world, you love them. I ain't gonna say I couldn't forgive them, but I'd be pretty dang on pissed.
Yeah.
You just tried to kill me for some insurance money. I'd be pretty pissed.
Mm-hmm.
It may take me a while to forgive them, but that's crazy. That is crazy. Anyway, We're gonna give y'all a few minutes back today, man. This U.S. madness, man. I you know, they are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. I think it's heard. She said, shit, I think I heard about one incident and it was a black family. Maybe it's another. Well, I do know that there was a the video. Well, not the video, but there is a case where this young black girl tried to kill her mom. I don't know if she actually succeeded or not, but I think she shot her mama. And this girl went from little teenage girl went from making TikTok videos and stuff with her mama to shooting her mama. And I don't know what it was about, but I just saw the post flash the other day, and they were talking about how sad it was. So I don't know why. You know, it could have been one of those things where she took her phone or something. I don't know. But I did see that. I know they was black because I saw that the post of that. But to Xanax, you talking about Xanax? We ain't too many black folk taking no Xanax, bro.
Yeah,
But they said
no.
they gave them Xanax to help, I guess, for to keep them from getting up. We ain't taking no Xanax, bro. So yeah. Anywho, thank you guys again, man, for jumping in on this conversation this morning, man. And I hope I put some other stuff on your mind to think about. You know, I did a bit with some brothers that did they dad in for money, but it was set up by the mother. Wow. So the mother got her sons. Was it they real dad or they stepdad? They biological dad? Cause that's crazy that the mama would be in on it. And so yeah, that's crazy. But he said they were black. Wow. But you know, people will go to the extreme, man, for the love of money, man. Yeah, people will go to the extreme. So anyway, thank you guys again for participating and jumping in on this conversation today, man. Tomorrow, man, hope we'll have something more engaging. I appreciate y'all. Y'all been with it all week, and I love it. Y'all been in tune all week, and I think it's because you know most of us as U.S. citizens have a genuine concern about our country and what's going on, and we know that when laws and all these things come down, that it will affect us in one way or the other. Even though I think it was Craig said the other day, man, we've been struggling, we've been going through and fighting up against and going against the grain for a long time, man. And so we know how to deal with struggle. We've been struggling. So when some of these things present itself to us, man, it don't hit us like it hit them.
Yeah.
Case. So thank you guys again for tuning in, man. We appreciate you. Lavelle, give your closing thoughts and prayers out, brother.
No closing thoughts per se. Well, if you guys are not busy on this Saturday, I will be doing an event for the Memphis Parks in the Cordova area. Fletcher Creek Park. They're doing an event from 6 to 9, just to come out and have some clean, positive fun and try to change the climate and have a good time. So looking forward to doing it and partnering with the city doing it, and looking forward to have a good time. So that's my closing remarks on it. And we're gonna pray out. Gonna do a little different prayer, but I'm gonna read this prayer. And it's a prayer that you're familiar with. I'm just gonna be reading from another version, and I think it's what we need to key in on. So let us pray and read. Our Father in heaven, reveal who you are, set the world right, do what's best, as above, so below. Keep us alive with 3 square meals. Keep us forgiving with you and forgiving others. Keep us safe from ourselves and the devil. You're in charge. You can do anything you want. You're ablaze in beauty. Yes, yes, yes. That's the Lord's Prayer. And that's my closing prayer.
All right, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Same bad time.
Same bad place.
Two Men in Hats. Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.